it was the record that we were probably most, like, banging heads over. Like, this is one of my favourite. It's the first time that I realised you could make a record being happy, you know. Because I always thought you sort of had to channel a bit of negativity to be creative and really live hard and be, you know. We used to talk about that a lot, like being. That's kind of what Keep On Your Mean Side meant. It was about, you know, keeping it in touch with some negativity and misery in order to be able to make something positive. And this is the first time I'd spent, since Midnight Boom, I'd spent most of the time just sitting around with friends and playing guitar and drinking wine, which I'd never done before, the guitar part. You know, I'd never had an acoustic guitar before, and it's the first time I was, like, sort of playing by a fire, and just all these songs just happened without kind of, it wasn't a torture for me like it normally is. I started a relationship, and, you know, I was settled down, really. Was I married by then? Nearly married. And, yeah, kind of family, just family fun. And it was, I mean, it's kind of my ex-wife's sort of social group was very, you know, it's a real sort of social environment. There was always tons of people around, and you were always encouraged to perform. You know, play that song. And I really hate that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time that I kind of broke through it, and it was enjoyable. My God, it's enjoyable, you know. And then people, you know, you found that it was actually quite encouraging getting feedback from people when you were writing a song, you know, and they'd go like, I love that, oh, that's really, and so you'd kind of think in your head, like, this is a song that's going to work, you know, and I'd never had that before. It was always writing songs was always something you did in private, you know, in secret.
I did learn a lot doing the Dead Weather and that, because I toured so heavily and did so much stuff I actually hadn't done before. I was kind of like all fired up. So by the time we came back to do this, like, he was in a happy place. I was like just going 1,000 miles an hour, and we all made this record. So I don't know like how it affected the songs I wrote for it or anything, but I feel like affected the way I performed.
Well, because she was doing Dead Weather, I knew that the next Kills record couldn't be a rock record, you know, like a straight ahead rock record. I mean, it kind of happens on every record where, like for this record, I wanted to go like really electronic and didn't want to use any sort of 70s guitar tones. I wanted to find completely new sort of guitar tones and stuff. And Alison had been in this kind of rock band, you know, with guys like every night playing, like, and she'd kind of really got her sort of rock chops up, you know. And I think it kind of made me want to be more English, and it made me want to be more electronic. And at the time, you kind of see it as a battle, but then at the end, you realise that was the whole point of it, you know, that she was expressing one side of our band in a really extreme way, and I was expressing the opposite side in an extreme way. And the result is like trying to find a way of putting those two things together. How did we figure it out? I don't know, like we always do, just sort of in fits and starts and battles and making up, and in the end just realising that music's the most important thing.
I mean, when I look at the record, it's really funny, because there's like songs like Last Goodbye and Pots and Pans and things that, like, you know, I'm like, well, it didn't really get too electronic or anything. It's a really perfect combination of us, you know, and at the time. And it is of a time, but I still love every single one of the songs on this record so much, and we still play them all, so something worked.
Yeah.
This is from like an old circus magazine. Jamie's put this together. He's made me into a cat girl. This is the only time you'll ever see my stomach showing. It's not mine.